I'll ask you a question. It's a question I have posed up many times, I'm sure, throughout my ministry and my sermons, but ask you again, what brings joy to your life? Where do you come to find joy that brings you great happiness? Today of all days, should have been a joyful occasion, a joyful celebration. It didn't really turn out that day, but today should have been a joyful day because of what? Opening season. Tigers opening day. God decided to send rain, but that's okay. Tomorrow will be a joyful day, but maybe for another reason, not just necessarily for opening day. But no, Tiger season begins, and for me, it is a joyful occasion. It's a celebration, largely because when Tigers begin, I know that summer is going to be here soon. Things begin to slow down a little. My schedule gets a little less hectic. I look forward to warmer days, longer days, more sunshine, more daylight. The anticipation of camping trips that are going to be coming up, the anticipation of that summer vacation and hanging around the campfire, stay up late, sleeping in a little longer in the mornings, and it's just the beginning of Tiger season brings a lot of joy into my life. What about you guys? You can't take mine. What brings joy? I think there's a lot of ways we can answer that. Joy of my family, joy of my children, joy of my job, my career, the work that I do brings me great joy, brings me great satisfaction. And it means the joy of a vacation, going on vacation, the joy of getting away for a while with your spouse, with your loved ones. It means the joy of friends, joy of community. It means the joy of a hobby that you do or a project that you're working on that you can get done. It means the joy of service. And you find great joy of helping others in need. I know there's a lot of ways we can answer that because I know there's a lot of things in our lives that do bring us joy. And sometimes it brings us great joy. But where is our true joy to be found? You see, that's what Jesus shares with us and what God's will is all about. God's will is for us to have joy. But we're going to find that joy not necessarily in the things I just mentioned, but a really solid joy, a deeper joy, not just our emotional response, not just the feeling of happiness and excitement, but a very deep, grounded joy that passes all understanding, that goes beyond what we can explain. A joy that in the midst of turmoil, a midst of grief and tears, a joy that won't go away, that keep us anchored. See, the thing is, if we just look at joy of just the things that we have, if I spend my life basing my joy and happiness on the Tigers, what kind of year do you think I'm going to have? I mean, they already got rained out, and I'm afraid to say to you that I think today is just an example of what's going to happen a lot more often as the year progresses. You're not going to have a really good season. For those who don't really follow the Tigers, I'm just telling you, they're not going to have a good season. Don't count on the World Series this year. But I tell you what, they did make it to the World Series. We'll go back to that visit about joy. But well, first they have to win. I don't care if they make it to the World Series. They have to win World Series anyway. But no, if I base my joy, my happiness on the Tigers, on anything like that, I'm going to be greatly disappointed. Or on my careers, or on money, or on vacation. Even my family, which I'm going to make sure my family's there. I'll go to some other family. Even my family brings me great joy, great happiness. I love my family. My family is important to me. But I don't base my joy even on them. And the reason why is because what we have today can easily be gone tomorrow. You have happiness and joy in your careers and your service. It's here today, but gone tomorrow. You have joy in health and in things you're able to do, and you have it now only to lose it later. I have great joy in my family. How easily fragile my family is, and I can lose my family. We need something else. Just not the things that we have in this world, or the things that we can do for ourselves. We need a deeper joy that we can't really give to ourselves. And it's God's will to give us that joy, to give us that peace, to give us that reassurance as we face the fires and the storms and the floods of life. There's still joy in our lives. And again, we find that joy, that gift of Jesus. I want to read to you from John. This is recorded in the 15th chapter. And in the book of John, John records these extensive dialogues and these messages that Jesus was sharing with his disciples during this Passover meal when he offered and gave the Lord's Supper. And I'll read this portion of what he was saying to his disciples. Jesus says, "If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be given you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. And as the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. And if you obey my commands, you remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remained in his love. I have told you this, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete." And it is a good way that Jesus put it. Of course, Jesus is going to put it the better way. It's not a question that we don't have joy. I think we have lots of joy. But as Jesus suggests, our joy is never complete when we just rest on ourselves. Jesus came to give us his joy so that our joy can finally be complete. To go beyond this world, this universe, and find this joy solely in Jesus. Why Jesus? Because he's the truth. He's the Savior. And what we gather here tonight and tomorrow and the next couple of days, he's the one who goes to the cross for us, who dies and who rises again. That's why Jesus is our joy. I had a conversation with a young man who was not really a Christian. And I'll say his beliefs, probably more like agnostic. He wasn't necessarily an atheist, but he didn't really question the existence of God. And more so than that, he really just questioned religion in general and saw no value of being religious, definitely no value of being a Christian. And he posed this thought to me, really a question, really a challenge, and just kind of asked me that the only reason, isn't it true, that only reason why people are religious, the only reason why people are Christian or go to church is because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel happy. It makes them feel comfortable. And see, what he was posing and what he's challenging me is that the only reason why we have religion in the world, he wasn't just necessarily picking on Christianity, just religion in general, but the only reason why we have religion is because there's a emotive response, that people are getting something out of it. As long as people feel good, they're going to fill up the church. And when he posed that, when he challenged me, it really caught me off guard, because my first reaction is, as a Christian, especially as a pastor, but being raised in the church all my life, I like to say, yeah, I can't disagree with that. There is a lot of happiness in my life because of my faith. But something wasn't right, because it just wasn't because it made me happy. I wasn't a Christian because it made me feel good. There was something much deeper, and at that time I wasn't able to articulate that to him. But what I come to realize, and not just for me, but for all of us and for all Christians throughout the world, the reason why we gather, it's not because it makes us feel good. We come here tonight, we come here like we always do. We live our life in faith in Jesus, because Jesus is the truth. Because he abides in me, as he abides in you. So that was the whole dialogue Jesus was sharing with his disciples, the explanation that he's the vine and the branches, and we are the branches, that he is attached to us, that he dwells in us as we dwell in him, and we cannot have much. We'd be lost if it wasn't for Jesus. I come to church not because I have to. Because if I didn't come to church, you guys would be without a preacher, and Bob Walters will have to come up here and share the sermon, and you know we don't want any of that. I actually kind of love it because we give like a 1-minute homily, and you say amen. Just make sure you say sugar in your sermon, okay? All right. No, the reason why I come to church is not because I have to. It's because Christ dwells in me. And he makes my joy complete. And it's more than just my emotions. It's more than just happiness. It's more than just because I feel good. It's because who Jesus has made me, and it's what Jesus has made you. We find our Savior here. We find the truth here. We find our foundation here. Because we find Jesus here. See, that's what Jesus was given to his disciples on that night as we celebrate here tonight. As they were celebrating this Passover meal, as the Jews have done for thousands of years, as a constant reminder of God's presence in their lives. And Jesus took it up the notch to the nth degree of not only reminding the disciples that God is with you and he provides for you, but then he gives to his disciples what? Take and eat, this is my body. And take and drink, this is my blood. He gives himself to his disciples so that their joy would be complete. So that when the next day comes and Jesus is arrested and beaten and nailed to the cross, and when they themselves will scatter and hide and be in fear and not knowing what's going on, not knowing what to do, and witnessing their teacher, their master, their Savior, their Lord being put to death, they will remember that night when Jesus said, take and eat, this is my body. Take and drink, this is my blood. And I will be with you always. We find our community within Jesus. And within Jesus, we find our joy. The joy with my family, the joy in my ministry, even the joy in the Tigers, whether they win or lose, even the joy of a rainy day, but even the joy of tragic moments. Like today, when I met with the Schultz family, as maybe you know, I saw the prayers that Ricky passed away suddenly and tragically last night. But meeting with them, in their house filled with tears and grief, and in some cases bitterness, they still have that joy, that foundation, that relief in Jesus. That's why Christ came. They give us something more than what we can give to ourselves. And tonight we celebrate that. But once again, Jesus will give himself to you. As he continues to abide in you, as we continue to abide in him, so that our joy can be complete. Amen.